the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We're here on the petition to establish the parent-child relationship. I'd like the court to take judicial notice that neither party was served, but both parties have been sent a copy of the petition to their email address.
Okay.
We do have some agreements. It's a partial agreement, Your Honor. I'll read those agreements into the record. Parties agree that there has been verbal FBI in the past 2 years, that the police were not called, there were no arrests, no injuries, and no physical abuse. Parties agree that one parent relationship needs to be established between Mr. Monserrat and the dependent child Zion Monserrat, born June 19, 2022. Parties agree that Mr. Monserrat doesn't have any other minor children. Parties agree that Mr. Monserrat's wages, which were imported by his employer, are $2,408.53 monthly gross and $1,955.13 monthly net. Parties agree that the medical support based on government medical should be set at $150 per month beginning March 1st, 2025. And parties agree that the court costs should be assessed to the father. I'll now call the parties to try to get into the disagreements. I'd like to call the mother. Please, could you state your full name for the record, please, Ms. Commander?
Wisdom Commander.
Thank you, Ms. Commander. Could you state the names and ages of the children in today's case?
Zion Monserrat, June 19, 2022.
Thank you. And how is the child covered under the health insurance?
Well, he's Medicare or Medicaid?
Okay, Medicaid. Yes, ma'am. As far as the agreements that I read earlier into the record, were you able to hear those agreements?
Say again?
The agreements that I read initially into the record, were you able to hear those agreements?
Yes, I heard them, sir.
Are those still your agreements today?
Yes, sir.
Or do you believe those agreements are in the best interest of your child?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking the court to accept those agreements?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I now want to move into the disagreements. Now, based on the monthly gross income of $2,408.53 and the monthly net income of $1,955.13, the state calculated that current child support should be set at $391 per month beginning March 1st, 2025. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I disagree because his income reports was false. He had other income coming in.
So you disagree with the income because you believe he's making more money than what the state has calculated?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. As far as the retro calculation, the state calculated a retro judgment in the amount of $7,436, and that's based on 8 months of the retro time period. Would you be in agreement or disagreement with the retro amount?
In agreement, sir.
So, okay. So you're in agreement that retro should be set at $7,436 and not the $18,252.42 initially discussed?
No, I don't understand what you're saying.
So the retroactive child support, that's back child support. So that's child support that should have been paid if Mr. Monserrat had been on child support when the child was initially born. There were two amounts calculated, one for 32 months and one for 8 months. The amount calculated for 32 months is $18,252.42, and that's payable at $141 per month beginning March 1st, 2025. Are you in agreement or disagreement with that retro calculation?
I'm in agreement with the 32 months.
Okay, yes, ma'am. And as far as that information, the father alleges that he's provided you $10,000 in back child support over the course of time between when you got separated and today. Would you be in agreement or disagreement that he's provided you $10,000 so far?
I mean, in a disagreement, sir.
Yeah, and why do you disagree?
Because he has not been consistent in anything. So I don't know where the 10,000 is coming from.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. You also requested non-disclosure. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're seeking to have your address or phone number not listed in today's court order?
Yes, sir.
Is that due to safety concerns with the non-custodial parent?
Yes, safety concerns, sir.
Yes, ma'am. And you proposed the meeting location of the DDs at 822 Centerville Road in Garland, Texas, zip code 75041. Is that where you would like the visitation pickup and drop off to take place?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You also are requesting a sole managing conservatorship, a joint managing conservatorship. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you also are requesting that there be no geographic restriction. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Why are you asking the court not to find that there be a geographic restriction today?
Because first of all, when he left me 7 days old when my son was I just came from C-section. I've been managing my life, living from state to state, looking for help. So he cannot stop me from surviving. I've been surviving. And I was not even living here. My mom just died. That's why I came back to say my mom comes back home. So I was not living in Texas. I was in Massachusetts. So him making that decision to stop me, I mean, he's just telling me I should just survive on his own term. That is not fair for me because this child has been in my life since he was 7 days old. In fact, since he was in my womb, he abandoned us 7 days old with a C-section. So that's not fair to me.
Yes, ma'am. And as far as the visitation or the possession order that we discussed previously, Mr. Monterey is requesting a standard possession order, but you're not requesting any visitation. Is that correct?
Where depending on what the judge is gonna say, because of safety issues, his lifestyle, and his poor decision making, that's why. I would love my child to be in his life, but because of his lifestyle and his decision making, that's why for now, no.
Could you elaborate on what you mean by his lifestyle so the court can have a better understanding on why you don't agree with the standard possession order?
Okay, he's having accidents. Almost every month they can check his record. He smoke weed, he do drugs, he has gun, and he goes for party. He cannot even like drive without not texting. So like with all this, like his lifestyle bringing people over, smoking to his house, they have all this weird lifestyle. My son, he's a boy. Whatever he see his dad doing, he will copy. So when he start living a healthy lifestyle, 100%, he will be around his child.
So the reason you primarily disagree with a standard possession order is because you don't agree with Mr. Monterey's lifestyle. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's all. That is his son. He's supposed to be in his life as long as he's willing to live like a healthy father around his child.
At this time, Your Honor, I pass this witness, and I would like to call the father. Mr. Monterey, could you state your full name for the record, please?
Papa Mansoray.
Thank you, Mr. Monterey. Did you hear the agreements I initially read out into the record?
Yes, sir.
Are those still your agreement?
Can you go over them?
Sure. The agreement was that there has been FBI in the past year, but it was mainly verbal, no police call, no arrests, no injuries, no physical reviews. You're asking that a DP parent relationship be established today between yourself and the child Zion Monterey, born June 19, 2022. You have no other minor children. Your wages reported by your employer were $2,408.53 monthly gross, $1,955.13 monthly net. The medical support government medical amount, $150 per month beginning March 1st, 2025, and you agree to court costs as the father. Are those your agreements so far?
Yes, sir.
And you believe those agreements are in the best interest of your children?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking the court to accept that agreement, those agreements?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'd now like to get into the disagreements. Based on the income reported by your employer, we calculated child support in the amount of $391 per month beginning March 1st, 2025. Are you in agreement or disagreement with that amount?
Yes, sir.
You agreed to the $391 per month beginning March 1st, 2025?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. And as far as the retro calculation, there were two retro calculations, one for the 32 months at $18,252.42, payable at $141 per month. The second option, sir, was that 8 months of retro calculated at $7,436, but the retro judgment would be zero today because so far you've alleged that you provided $10,000 in retro support. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So are you asking that there be no retro set in today's case?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. As you may have heard previously, the mother is requesting a non-disclosure in today's case with a proposed meeting location for pickup and drop-off at DD's at 822 Centerville Road in Garland, Texas, 75041. Are you in agreement or disagreement with the non-disclosure?
That's fine.
And are you in agreement or disagreement with the proposed meeting location of DD's at 822 Centerville Road in Garland, Texas?
That's fine.
Yes, sir. Now, as you may have heard previously, the mother is requesting a sole managing conservatorship. Are you seeking a sole managing conservatorship today or a joint managing conservatorship?
Joint.
And why are you requesting a joint managing conservatorship today?
Just in the case of where I have to make a decision and maybe she's not around and it's an important decision, I would, prefer the option to be able to make a important decision in my child's life.
So you would like the freedom to make decisions when Miss Commander is not present?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. And as you heard previously, the mother is requesting that there be no geographic restriction. Are you requesting that there be a geographic restriction today, sir?
And can you explain that again?
Sure. A geographic restriction basically says that the mother agrees not to move outside of Dallas or a contiguous or touching county, a county that touches Dallas. There's an agreement there that she will not move outside of that area. That's what would happen if you had a geographic restriction. If you didn't have a geographic restriction, the mother and the child would be able to be free to move about as they see fit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind if she moves. Like, I just would like to know if my child is gonna go where, when, I like to know where and when. But I don't mind if she moves. Like, I don't want her to be restricted in Dallas. Like,
so you're in agreement with no geographic restrictions so long as you're made aware of where the child is going.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And as you may have heard previously, the mother is seeking that there be no visitation, and you are requesting a standard possession order. Is that correct?
No visitation at all.
The mother is requesting that there be no visitation. Are you in agreement or disagreement with that?
I'm in a disagreement with that.
Yes, sir. And could you explain to the court why you disagree with that?
Just because I would like to see my child and spend time with my child.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, I pass this witness as well.
All right. So the parts that were agreed to, those are all fine. They all agreed, additionally, I guess, to have the mother's address not be disclosed. So we're doing a non-disclosure of Ms. Comanda's residence, and exchange location was agreed to as well. We're doing an injunction that neither one of you are to take a controlled substance when you're during or while you have possession, or be under the influence of any controlled substance while you have the child. We're going to do sole managing conservatorship. No geographic restriction, so the mother can move anywhere she likes, but I do want you to try to stay here so that the father can have a relationship with the child. If you move to Massachusetts, that's going to be pretty impossible for the child to have a relationship with their father. So please consider that. For retroactive support, I'm granting a judgment of $7,000, payable at $75 a month until paid in full. I'm not going to do no visitation. That makes no sense. We're not doing that. The father should have a right to visit. Of course, I agree that the child should be safe when they're with the father, but that's what we're doing the injunction. So I'm doing a standard visitation order. Standard visitation will be 2 ways. If you live in the same area, then it'll be every other weekend and 30 days in the summer. If you live over 100 miles away, then it'll be 1 weekend per month, but then it'll be 60 days in the summer. So the summer will be increased if you choose to move out of the DFW area to make up some of that time that we're losing visitation because you move. So that'll be the orders that y'all must follow. The Attorney General's office will put that in an order and email y'all a copy, and y'all can read through the details to see what that means. All right, y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the support on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.